Hey everybody, how's everybody doing? Happy Thursday. I'm just testing out some more things. I'm once again live. Hey Rose, glad to see you're still here. I'm still live in multiple places. Live on both YouTube and Twitch. But I am checking some things out as we go along. Just making sure. I didn't get a chance to like thoroughly review everything. I noticed that the stream worked pretty well when I did it earlier, so that makes me pretty happy. So gonna keep an eye on my stream health. I hope everyone else is having a really good day. Well, let me go fix something else too. Sorry guys, it's taking a minute. I'm also just, wow. Alright. Hey Wendy, yeah, glad to be here as well. I'm so happy that everyone's chat is now merged. On our screen. This is very nice. I love this. Yeah, I'm inside. I got inside Wendy last night, and then someone helped out for tonight, so we'll head out in the morning. I don't know how we're gonna move around tomorrow. I don't have a wagon anymore, so how are you feeling? Not that great, Aerodorial. I have to send a message to my ex-wife. I had a small bite to eat at like 4:30 after my stream ended, and then I laid down for a 45-minute nap because I have notes from like the doctors and the counselor of like how to explain a couple of things that are going on with me in the right way. I'm getting some help basically, and yeah, like I was gonna lay down and I was kind of reviewing those on my phone, and what was supposed to be like maybe like a 30 to 45-minute nap ended up being a 3-hour nap. I think that I don't know, it just takes me maybe a night or two after we get back inside for me to settle down again. The entire time I'm outside, usually my heart rate is it's up just a little bit. I'm always on high alert and always concerned about like things that are happening around me and stuff. So yeah, I think maybe I just had to dude, why won't that thing go away? That can stay. That needs to go away. There we go. So, but yeah, this is probably gonna be my only stream of the night. I actually fully intended on going back to bed, and I was like, oh, I should really go say hi to everybody and stuff. I gotta shoot that video. I just had a really weird dream too that I like literally I woke up 15 or 20 minutes ago. Just had a really weird dream too. It's like had nothing to do with my medical situation or my personal. It just like I don't know. Get a lot of weird memories that get jumbled together in some weird funky mix and yeah. So I don't know. I feel like I'm just staring at my stream health. I'm like super concerned. It's to explain some things. We're not going to get into that anymore. I just need to okay, I'm getting a notification. But I'm not asking for what you're suggesting here, Royal. I'm asking for something that I asked for in October of 2020, and I think it's time. So. Okay, so this is good to know. It does say that my stream health is now poor. Please use a keyframe frequency of 4 seconds or less. Currently, keyframes are not being sent often enough, which can cause buffering. The current keyframe frequency is 8.3 seconds. Note that ingestion errors can cause incorrect group of picture sizes. But now it says, yeah, I'll keep an eye on it. I'm definitely learning, guys. But yeah, I just don't want to talk about that kind of stuff on my stream anymore. Yeah, guys, tomorrow is going to be a weird day. I have laundry money. I did not do laundry today. I just need to wash the towels and like the blanket that I used to sleep at. But I realize it's not quite like a full load. So I'm saving the laundry money, and then the clothes I'm wearing now, everything's gonna go in there tomorrow morning before I check out, and then that'll give me basically a suitcase of clean clothes before I head out for the weekend. I had set up kind of like a nice situation over there without the need like storage doesn't really help me right now. I want to get access to my things if they even still exist, but I'm like just surviving right now is taking every little bit of ounce of energy that I have. I can't quite express that to people. I think getting a little bit of sleep even this afternoon is just like, man, it is taking everything just to stay upright most days. Didn't really sleep hardly at all last night. So yeah, I think tonight might just be my sleep night, and that's cool. Give me a chance to get some rest and get ready for the weekend. I think I will. Hopefully, maybe, I don't know. Like I said, I just turned what was supposed to be like a 30 to 45 minute little nap into a 3-hour nap, and like I'm definitely tired, but it's also concerning because it's something that I used to do many, many years ago that I tried to do away with. And it was a way that I would use to like manage my anxiety, is to go and yeah. I just don't want that to come back. Like I should not be sleeping 3 hours in the middle of the day. That's not cool. So I'm a little perturbed by what just happened. But yeah, I don't know how I'm getting around tomorrow. A few people have kind of offered to kind of lend a hand. I just like, yeah, I don't really know what's going on, what I can do. Ordering a new wagon is quite the endeavor. I basically have to be here to do that process. The wagons cannot be delivered to Amazon lockers. The package is too big. Part of me kind of wants to go with like just a standard Amazon Basics wagon. We did that the first time, and I did that to save on cost. But the wagon lasted us maybe like a month and a half or so, maybe 2 months. It just, the second you hit a weird bump on the sidewalk, the entire thing. No, not really, Aerodorial. This is something you gotta order on Amazon, and it has to be sent to me. This is potentially gonna be our 4th wagon in 11 months. We got our first wagon in August of 2025. And like I mentioned, it maybe made it to September, the end of September, maybe. I don't even think it made it that far. So it has to be sent to where I'm staying, which is another area of concern. But then also, like, after the $80 Amazon Basics wagon, the wagons we've been getting have been lasting a lot longer, but they've been a lot more expensive. This last one was like a couple $100, I think, that someone helped me get. But like the reality is I can't really ditch anything. Certainly can't ditch any of my streaming equipment. And I can't ditch this Aldi bag because this Aldi bag has all of the things that I need to help like sleep and stuff. I also have 3 loose boxes in the space, or the, I was about to say SpaceX, the Starlink Mini, as well as the portable monitor and the monitor stand. So it's 3 other items that like I need to account for. Like there's really nothing I can ditch. Like low key on a nightly basis, the Aldi bag that has things like laundry detergent, I usually have like some banana chips and peanuts in there from Trader Joe's, as well as like the towels and stuff, all that stuff. I need that every day. I don't make it through the night without those things. And the blanket, of course, my brown blanket. I have to have those things or I won't make it through the evening. So if I have to leave behind anything, it's gonna be things like all of my streaming gear that everyone, a good half of it came from things I already had, but a lot of people have helped me get a lot of these pieces of equipment and stuff. And, yeah, I don't really know what to do. Just tough circumstances, tough way to balance everything. Just generally, just very tough decisions that need to be made. So. Anyone else have anything to report? I know that Rose and I had a chance to catch up a little bit earlier today. But wasn't sure if anyone else had anything fun happen today, anything exciting happen this week at work. wish survival mode gave me more to share with you guys, but we're done. We're done, yeah. That's awesome, Eridorio. That does feel good. It's always great when you can have a successful launch. Nothing much, just play with your dogs and some water. Gonna spend the weekend standing in your porch? Nice! Maybe next week get some primer on there. 8:51, stream is healthy again. That's good. This is good. Okay. Yeah, needs a good stain. Nice. Happy to hear everything's productive over there. Sorry guys, I am still keeping an eye on my stream health. This is all a little new for me. I'm also making sure that page stays muted so that you guys don't get a weird echo. Oh, the AC today has been so nice too. So, you felt very energized after your breakup? Oh, that's good, Eridorio. Sounds like you're keeping yourself busy too, which is good. It took me about 8 or 9 months after I moved out, so I wasn't even fully divorced yet completely, but it took me about 8 or 9 months to kind of just get some things in my life kind of, yeah. Plus therapy's helpful. Oh man, yeah, therapy was very helpful for me. Very, very helpful for me. It's just nice to have someone to talk to, I think, sometimes. I do counseling now with a city therapist, and it sucks. Why did my guy have to retire? The worst part is a counselor doesn't do anything for me. Especially amongst millennials, over 60% of millennials are have narcissistic tendencies. It's really, really challenging. I think some of that maybe gets passed on, just from boomers and your parents and stuff. It just kind of falls down the line. Yeah, and I'm still iffy on it. I gave her a shot on Tuesday, and we kind of went a little bit back and forth. In order to work with me as a counselor, you have to understand obsessive compulsive disorder. To be clear, you don't see a therapist for obsessive compulsive disorder. You go see a doctor. Well, gaslighting isn't just the bad stuff. Gaslighting is something that is done intentionally. So to understand what I'm going through, I'll show you guys why this is so difficult for me. I've never been able to get past the gaslighting, and it's because of my condition. So I am going to I've never searched this. This is the first time ever searching this with anybody. So we'll find out together. I spelled that wrong. I don't even know how to spell it some days. So let's see here. This is something in my notes from the doctor. EMDR really helped you. That's good. Where's this page? Oh, there we go. Cool. So I've actually never searched this. This is in my notes from the doctor to share. Huh. This is all really interesting. I've never searched this before. This is in my notes to share. I also Eridorial started during the relationship. I already know what OCD is, so I'm not like... So this is what I have been dealing with. So it's a little bit different than I think what a normal person would probably go through. This is all kind of new to me as I'm reading it. Like I've had some of it explained to me and stuff, but I've actually never, this is something I've never searched before. So I have very interesting... I'm not going to explain my anxiety disorder in like great detail, but what I will tell you guys all is I've known about this since 2003. The way it worked at the time was they put me on some medications and I worked with the doctor to get some help. And then the time came for my mother to get a little bit more involved. My mother decided that she didn't want me seeing that doctor anymore. So I only made it probably like 75-80% of the way through the treatment before I was denied additional treatment by the person who's responsible for making sure that I'm healthy. We actually just found this out. I had to sign a bunch of paperwork for the city health department, and one of the pieces of paperwork that I signed was permission for all of like the counselors, nurses, doctors, and stuff at the city health department office to go out and retrieve my medical records and review my medical records and et cetera, et cetera. So we actually just kind of went through this and got a better understanding of the treatment that I went through. But going back to what I'm kind of talking about with everybody, again, I'm not going to go baseline here, but that highlighted part, the compulsive and repetitive checking. So I've always had pretty good management of my condition since probably late 2003. For the most part, it's little stupid things. I'm very clean and organized, as many of you guys have seen, I think, at times. The wagon, for example, totally organized, no issues there. Like you could literally go in there if I gave you instructions that I need you to go get something from the wagon, like you wouldn't be disgusted reaching in. It's only like the things that I have in there: suitcase, Pelican case, there's a grocery bag, and there's a backpack, and then there's 3 loose boxes. It's super fucking organized. So you could go in there and I could give you directions on how to get everything. So being clean and organized is a huge part of that, of managing my anxiety. And then I have little weird tics. When I, like driving a car, like when I go to unlock my vehicle, I have to tap my button a certain amount of times. That's like something stupid weird. But that's not OCD. Those are things that like I do to make myself feel better. So like I recognize that that's like a tic. Right now though, it's A lot of pacing. A lot of pacing. A lot of pacing. But yeah. And this is what we were all talking about in my appointments recently. That last sentence, the last sentence, that was explained to me. So, this is all really interesting. That's kind of cool that it has like an Ask Me Anything thing. That's kind of cool. Google will help you talk to someone that you're going to try to help. That's kind of cool. I support. 901 stream is healthy again. Good deal, guys. I'm happy to see that. Gaslighting cannot directly cause OCD. I don't know how accurate that source is, but okay. But yeah. Close that page. Yeah, and like OCD itself it's just tough because so many people throw it around so casually that they think everyone has it. And the reality is about 4, maybe 5% of the world population does have it. It actually is common. It's just not like that common, if you get me. It's pretty prevalent around. It's pretty prevalent amongst males, too. So, yeah, it's I have very, 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 very specific things that from 2021 and 2022 are still there. Through the help of a doctor as well as some counseling, we worked through about 2 or 3 of them. We also did some other things that were able to kind of just like make my day-to-day life a little bit easier, I guess. The best way to describe it is like I essentially live my life having to navigate a bunch of fog to get things done. Mental fog to get things done. 2021, 2022, a huge chunk of 2023, it wasn't fog anymore. It was a giant fucking wall in my face. It was just like every day it was like having to, like, I'm just like trying to put this in a perspective that maybe someone that's watching here might understand. But it was like every day I'd have to like climb over or find my way around this giant fucking wall. And it was just to like focus for like a 30 to 40 minute Zoom call for work, or to do my team meeting and stuff in the morning at 8:30 before we kicked off our day, or like all those things. And then towards the end of 2023, even though things were challenging and tough, we kind of got it back to fog. Very, very dense fog. And then since Roxy passed away, actually since January, to be honest, since my ER visit, there was a lot of things that I have a lot of questions about why I ended up in the hospital. I was a 36-year-old male who is having to go in an ambulance to the ER. It's fucking embarrassing. But yeah, it's back to being a wall, and that makes things really challenging for me. It makes things challenging for me, not just on the productivity side, but it makes things challenging for me on surviving. You do, believe it or not, you know, you don't need to think to breathe or anything like that, but you need to think to accomplish a lot of things. So, But yeah, what I will say is, you know, people that have been around a little while, or people that have had a chance to hear some of my stories about my career in the NBA, at the film studio, as a project manager, even the jobs that I did to get myself through college. Like, I did all that as a person diagnosed with OCD. OCD isn't curable. I live with it. I will live with it for the rest of my life. So I have tools to help me cope and overcome, but these types of things, gaslighting's challenging for someone that's completely healthy. And I didn't date women when I was younger that exhibited those types of behaviors. Like, we'd screw around or we'd hang out and chill, but the second you exhibited something that told me that you were a manipulative kind of mentality, we're done. Sorry, I gotta go. So, would you say it takes over your thoughts, preventing me from sleeping? To a certain degree. It's, again, I don't want to sit here like, there's some people that have obsessive compulsive disorder that daydream a lot. That's not really me. I'm not much of a daydreamer. I'm just very hyper self-critical. Yeah. What were you saying about being young in an ambulance, Daily Rose? Rose, in January I went to the ER by ambulance. You were around for that, I believe. You may recall. Oh, okay. He said all sad. Okay, gotcha. I'm rereading it again. I feel you. Thanks, Rose. I do appreciate you. But yeah, that's kind of, sorry, I'm trying to keep this camera focused on me. Ugh. I was gonna try to shave today, but there just seemed to be too much. Camera, focus. I don't know why it does this, you guys. Every once in a while it does this, and it makes me, there we go, we're back. But yeah, it's just something I have to live with. My grandfather, we're pretty sure my grandfather had it. Your boyfriend was in an ambulance at 23. I mean, I would hope that I hope he's okay. I would hope, you know, if you end up in an ambulance because you got an injury, like on the basketball court or something like that, I think I could live with that. It's just like, dude, my OCD is not why I went to the hospital in January. just confirming for you guys, I don't want you guys thinking that's what happened. It's my other thing that I'm dealing with. But your issue is triggered and having meltdowns. EMDR is helping you regulate your emotions better. Yeah. I had a couple of meltdowns. I had one in October of 2022, one in February 2021, one in October 2022, and then I had another one. I had one more in 2023. Haven't really had any meltdowns, I think. Oh yeah, for sure, you do feel young. So the problem is there's a lot of medications that they'll use, but they're all antidepressant type stuff, and we just can't figure out a way to make even like SSRIs, like the more aggressive types of treatments and medications. We can't figure out a way to get those to work for me. I've shared this before because we have tried a couple of different medications and stuff over the last few years. I'm really good at taking those medications and then just getting all of the side effects, but not getting any of the benefits. And like, when you gotta live with like, when you're taking a medication that you are fully aware gives you ED and things like that, like, and you're not getting the help that you want, it starts becoming extraordinarily frustrating. So it's a little bit of a challenge, but what I am trying to do in my person. Yeah, yeah. So we just decided, since it was interfering more than helping, we decided in very early 2024, we were like, yeah, we're just gonna press pause here. Let's work on some other things. I also had a chest issue, and it was kind of like, let's not put this in a bad situation by impacting the heart in a negative way. But to close the loop on the obsessive compulsive disorder, the diagnosis, it is very likely that my biological grandfather, my mother's father, has OCD. He exhibited a lot of behavior types that I think I relate to and I can attune to just a little bit. However, I do not believe that my mother nor my sister have exhibited any of those behaviors. And like, being a person that like has known about it since I was 14, 2003, like I at this stage in my life, I can pick that up and I can tell. And it's very, very hard because I have never had anybody in my life. I want to be careful about how I say that, because there was one person who has been there, and I don't want that person to ever watch this in the future and think that I don't appreciate the effort. Because I'm so capable and I've overcome so much on my own, because I recognize that if I wanted to get anywhere, I had to tackle this and I had to deal with it. And people have seen the things that I've accomplished. And it's not just, it's not just the things that I've done in my career. It's getting my Eagle Scout. It's graduating from high school, graduating from college, even being married. These are all things that are, I think give other people maybe the wrong impression that like, hey, I'm completely normal. And here's the thing, I don't talk about this often. I've never once checked the box on my employment paperwork saying that I have a disorder or I need, a reasonable accommodation. Nothing. No disability, nothing. However, we are in a very, 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 very different place now. You inherited a lot of anxiety, daily dose Rose. Yeah. I think the point that I was at, I had asked somebody in October of 2020 for some help. I'd asked for a hand. And it wasn't with this, it was with some other things in life that were impacting me, but like, from 2017 to about that time, I had really, on a personal level when it comes to this condition, taken things to new heights. Really, really got a lot of, moving away from Utah helped. Moving away from Utah really helped my OCD. Being in that super ultra religious environment was not helpful for someone that, you don't need the religious expectations mixed in with the other things that I have to deal with on a daily basis. Let's put it that way, if that makes sense. But I had asked somebody for help, and that ended up not coming. And instead of getting some kind of help, I got some other things that I have to deal with. So, yeah, I need to do this. I really do. But I just, like I said, a lot of coaching, a lot of belief from third parties that there is someone out there that maybe may not have been fully aware about the activity that was going on. Um, but we've tried so many of the other things, the medications. I went on the Atarax too. That was a. I'm not going to say it didn't help because it did. I could sense that it helped a little bit. But the issue with the Atarax was I don't really think I needed it. It was just a compromise to not have my license suspended. So, this is what I was taking for a little while. Oh, I gotta oh, there it is. It was right there. Sorry, guys. So this is what we compromised on to, ooh, my bad. My bad. I had resized this from our stream last night, but this is what I was taking. And this was essentially just a compromise. So I wouldn't have my license suspended. And this was due to the anxiety attacks, and I had never had an anxiety attack before July 2021. So this was our compromise to keep my license. It is not an OCD medication. This is an anxiety medication. So I had my first anxiety attack ever. I have OCD, but I've never had an anxiety attack before. Ever. Never ever. Sorry. Checking on the stream health. I never had an anxiety attack before, and then in July of 2021 I had one, and I've had 19 now, total. 19 anxiety attacks since July of 2021. Some are more aggressive than others, but for anyone that's had like a full-on anxiety attack, you can't operate heavy machinery. You can't. Yeah. So, yes, it's like a panic attack. I guess it is a panic attack. They're the same thing, I guess, from what I understand. So extraordinarily severe. Like these are not like I've gone to urgent care numerous times for these. So these are not like here's a brown paper bag and you'll feel better in a minute if you just breathe. It's not like that. But yeah, so I had to go on this medication in order to still be able to drive a vehicle. Like these are all the health things that I've been dealing with, and everything from the anxiety attacks to the OCD no longer being manageable by myself on my own. All these things from top to bottom, they just kind of stem from some things that happened in 2021 and 2022. So. Yeah, well, I mean, I don't live with daily anxiety. Well, sorry. Obsessive compulsive disorder is an anxiety disorder. So technically, yes, I do. But like talking about like living with like it's I don't know how to say, yeah. You have type 1 diabetes, so being in insurance keeps you alive. Oh, I'm so sorry, Ardorio. My grandmother was diabetic. The last like decade of her life we spent going to dialysis. one of the biggest reasons that my biological mother had a hard time getting my grandmother moved into a facility was we were having a hard time finding a DaVita anywhere in Utah. Um, yeah, if you guys want to know, I'll kind of wrap up with this story. I think this is a story that might relate to all of us in life. It's not directly related to my personal situation at the moment, so take us a little bit out of the doom and gloom here before we wrap up for the evening. In 2021, my mother was moving my grandparents out of my childhood home. Your grandmother died from found it over 20 years, no bad impacts. That's good, Neradorio. I'm really happy to hear that. There's no impacts for you. I'm really sorry about your grandmother. I just lost my grandmother in 2023, so I too understand. But yeah, going back to the story I was going to share. So we were moving my grandparents out of my childhood home. About 4 months before this, my grandfather had sat down with myself and my wife, and they had essentially asked us if we would consider moving in with them. So leaving Los Angeles and moving to Sacramento. You think panic attacks are... I think they're the same thing, Rose. That's how they've been explained to me from the doctors. I don't think that they're different. I think that they're the same thing. I just think they're different terms. Because panic is caused by anxiety. Story time. They had asked us to stay and move in with them, and we didn't want to give up. We didn't want to give up our life in Los Angeles. So we decided not to, but the ultimate result was that they were going to be put into a facility. My grandfather was a 20-year vet, the Air Force, 20-year vet, USPS, so he had double pensions and a couple of variety of different resources that were available to him as a retired Air Force veteran and postal worker. He had a bunch of things that were going to help make getting them into a home where they could get some help a little bit more affordable for the family. The way everything was kind of being managed was just like really, really poor. And my mother essentially, she didn't want to pack anything up. She didn't want to deal with anything in the house. So she short sold the home so that she didn't have to deal with, like, she just couldn't deal with it. She couldn't. So she just short sold the home with everything in it. Put my grandparents into a home up in Utah. But here's what's interesting. This is my mother's parents, okay? My grandparents, my sister's grandparents, but they are my mother's parents. We all have a responsibility to our family to a certain degree, and I think it does fall under hierarchy a little bit. The fact that my grandparents came and asked me and my wife to come and move in with them, it says a lot about who my mother is. So my mother moved them into a facility. Again, her parents, I want to stress this, but she put them in a facility 10 minutes from where my sister lived, over an hour from where my mother lives. So my mom moved them out of her childhood home, all this stuff, short sold it, did all these things so she didn't have to deal with anything. And here I thought, oh, my mom's gonna take care of my grandparents. No, she's gonna put them in a home an hour north, and she'll maybe drive up once a week to check in on them. That is the person that was responsible for my healthcare and well-being when I was diagnosed with OCD as a kid. If that is her approach to my grandfather, who had fluid in his spine and in his brain, and my grandmother, who's severe diabetic and on dialysis 3 times a week, you guys can gather a little bit of an understanding about the support system that I had growing up as a child, dealing with a very severe case of obsessive compulsive disorder. The short version is that there was none, unfortunately. And again, that just is what it is, I think. There's some things in life we can't control. The family environment that we're born into is also one of those things you cannot control. Unfortunately, I have to receive some help, and it needs to come from the right place. And the type of help that I need is the help that I've never ever received in my entire life ever. And because of the help that I need, it can't come from a doctor or a counselor. And it needs to come from a place of trust. So, not everyone is built up to be a caregiver. It's okay. But oftentimes you will find yourself in life being put in a position where you need to be a caregiver. And I think we all like to believe if we're ever called upon, we can do so. Had my ex-wife and I been okay, if our marriage had been good, if she was not, work situations have been different, I think we both would have liked to have stepped in and helped my grandparents and helped them along. Unfortunately, neither of us were doing that great. The impact on the COVID-19 pandemic on our lives have been pretty severe, so it just wasn't a good time. And it is one of those things that to a certain degree I do beat myself up a little bit about it, again to some degree, because we absolutely both could have taken care of them. They would have been fine. We would have been okay living in Sacramento. It would have been okay. So, you took care of your father after his second stroke. It's extremely hard. Oh, I'm so sorry, Eridorio. Yeah, it's tough, but you did it. You took care of your father. My mother decided just to throw them in a small box, and I'll go up when I have time. So you took care of your granddad in 2020, 2023 before he went in a home. That's so nice, Rose. I did a little bit of that when I was younger too. My great-grandmother, my grandfather's mother, she came and lived with us in my childhood home for a little while. Caregiving is, she had Alzheimer's, and that was my biological great-grandmother. She was born in England. She came to America in 1914 across the Atlantic. I learned about racism from her. That was really fun as a 4-year-old to learn about racism from your grandmother who's calling you things. She was very sick. She had Alzheimer's, and like literally I'm like a 4-year-old, 5-year-old kid holding the like shower head so my grandmother can give my great grandmother a bath in the shower, like, and she's calling me things. Yeah, it's extraordinarily difficult. It's also sad to like spend time with people that you love and you love to spend time with, and seeing them kind of, that was hard for me with my grandparents. My grandparents used to be full of life. My grandfather used to run bowling leagues and have all these friends over all the time, and just, yeah, it's hard watching them go in that way. Like I said, I do wish that, even today, I recognize it would not have been a good decision for the two of us to move up there. But I still do wonder at times, hey, like, yeah. So, yeah, I think I'm going to get some rest tonight, guys. Like I said, I'm going to wake up in the morning and do some laundry before I check out. I got a few bucks to help me get to Long Beach, I think, which is extraordinarily important. Maybe I'll have to reach out for a little bit of food funds, but hopefully I'll be okay. But yeah, I'm going to Forgot about you guys. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough to watch them go mentally. But yeah, I'll get some rest tonight, and then we'll be outside this weekend. And I need to make this video. Like I said, tonight or tomorrow I'll make this video, and I just want it to be. I want it to be good. So, but yeah, guys, probably won't be on tomorrow night. Be outside. That's good to hear, Rose. So probably won't be on tomorrow night, but I'll try to do maybe a small stream in the morning or something like that to keep my activity with NetEase alive. I did not do good, obviously, last week, and one stream today is really just not efficient enough for the things that I'm trying to accomplish. So I'll try to hop on in the morning before I leave, maybe while we're doing laundry and stuff. But yeah, guys, thanks for taking the time to come and say hi. I really appreciate the conversation tonight, and yeah, hopefully I'll say hi to you guys here in a few days. Aw, thanks, unlicensed pharmacist. Appreciate it. Hope you take care. Oh no, I got you. Appreciate you tuning in and saying hi. I really do. Thank you. Yep, will do, guys. Have a good night. And like I said, in the future, we'll try to do more YouTube stuff too. I think this is working kind of okay. I'm getting error messages, but it's staying true, so we'll keep that going. Have a good Thursday night, guys. Take care.
A lot has changed since we last spoke. Life's been good to you, and I see that you're with someone new. Maybe you are better off now that you're with him. But when I see your face, I can't stop myself from spiraling. Now I'm falling, I'm falling, I'm falling, I'm falling down. 'Cause I can focus when you are around. But I will try my best to carry on without you like you've done. Though I'm lost and out of breath, I will carry on without you like you've done. But I'm not over you. I'm not over you. I'm not over you. Yeah, my heart belongs to you. I'm not over trying to see it your way, to figure out why you left. I know that I have done some things I do regret, and I don't blame you for leaving. I might have done the same, but it doesn't make it easier anyway. Now I'm falling, I'm falling, I'm falling, I'm falling down. 'Cause I can get myself to focus when you are around. But I will try